Since the release of James Gunn's Superman, which flopped at the box office, James Gunn's Peacemaker Season 2, which performed poorly on streaming, and James Gunn's Creature Commandos, which pretty much nobody watched, I've been hoping that Warner Brothers would pull the plug on James Gunn's entire DCU. So when I looked online today and I saw people were talking about Superman being cancelled, I was initially rather pleased because I thought maybe Superman Man of Tomorrow, James Gunn's supposed follow-up to Superman 2025, was being cancelled. Of course, after I started researching more into this, it turned out that while people were talking about Superman being cancelled, unfortunately, it wasn't quite in the way that I had hoped. Because it's not actually the movie that's being cancelled, but rather the actor himself, David Corenswet, who plays Superman. Now, I just want to make something clear. Even in my review of Superman, I didn't have terrible criticism towards David Corenswet himself as an actor. From everything I've gathered about the guy behind the scenes and in interviews, he seems like a pretty decent person who really likes Superman and wanted to respect the source material. And I dare say that he likes and respects the character more than James Gunn does, which is why there were even some behind the scenes videos showing that he was arguing with Gunn, trying to get him to act more like Superman and less like a emo, immature idiot. And of course, by his own admission, James Gunn on the set of Superman kept telling him to, quote unquote, shut the up. So I guess what I'm trying to say here, he may not be my favorite Superman. I certainly didn't like the movie that he was in, but I've never had anything personal against him. And the reason why he's getting canceled now is that apparently he didn't sign a petition to boycott some country in the Middle East when it comes to making movies. Now, as always, I'm going to try to do my best to dance around some terms here that may not be friendly to the platform, and I wouldn't want to say something that would be considered problematic. As you all know, unless you've been living under a rock, there's a conflict in the Middle East, and some people in the industry signed a petition that supports one side of this conflict, and then there's people that signed a petition that seemingly supports another side of the conflict. My position, and not only when it comes to this conflict, but also other ones that we've seen in recent years, is pretty similar. I think that geopolitics are often complicated, more complicated than a lot of these actors even understand. A lot of the times, they're making comments and commentary about things that they don't know much about places in the world that they probably couldn't even find on a map. And I think that if actors are being paid millions of dollars to be in movies, they should probably focus on their craft. Even though in this case, the reason they want Corenswet gone is because he actually just didn't do anything. And this whole mess started actually not with David Corenswet himself, but actually with Supergirl actress Millie Alcock. Because Millie Alcock, who to date, her whole claim to fame is that she was in 4 episodes of House of the Dragon 4 years ago. She basically signed a petition that would support, for lack of a better term, watermelon enthusiasts in the Middle East. And Corenswet, at the beginning, reportedly signed that same letter, but then it turned out that he actually didn't sign the letter. And then, apparently, to make matters worse for Corenswet, if I understand correctly, his wife tweeted once that if you were an LG person and you went to the part of the world where there are watermelon enthusiasts, you would likely be in danger because culturally they don't accept that. Now, I don't really think that that's much of a hot take. And the fact that Corenswet's wife tweeted something at some point, or if he didn't sign a petition, I don't really think that this is grounds to ruin the man's life. I may not like the Superman movie that he's in, but the kind of tweets and hate I've been seeing him get online is pretty uncalled for. And on this channel, I'm always happy to talk about me not liking James Gunn's DCU. I'm happy to criticize him for his behavior, but personally, I enjoy sticking to the merit and not to all these minor things. Now, that doesn't mean that when James Gunn takes his preferred ideologies in politics and inserts it into the movies or shows that we're watching, that he's beyond criticism. Obviously, in some cases, he's really gone overboard with that. But when it comes to an actor not signing a petition and not wanting to get involved in something, it really seems like overkill here, and that I'm against. And this, for me, even beyond all of our talk about the DCU and about Zack Snyder and all that stuff, this is a much bigger problem. And I think that the sooner Hollywood learns that we don't care about their personal opinions and politics and worldview, the better it'll be for the industry. In any case, as I always do, I'll continue to update you about the DCU, but Just wanted to weigh in on this situation because found it all kind of baffling. And if you enjoy getting these type of updates from an independent entertainment reporter like myself, please make sure to like and subscribe, as it would really help my channel. Thanks for watching, my friends. Thank you, and good day.
I am such an awesome guy. I make so many videos.